Okay guys, we're back with a new video today, and coming to you near Mountaintop, Pennsylvania, and we're here to check out two things. First one's right behind me here. There's an abandoned crashed vehicle that's probably dated around the 60s, and then later on I'm going to head to check out an 1800 spring water bottling company. The remains of it. There's still the shell of the building and the reservoir dam area where they used to get the water supply from. So today's going to be a pretty neat adventure, and if we find anything else along the way, I'll be sure to share it with you guys, so come along with us. Okay, so you may be able to hear traffic in the distance. Right up on top of that hill is Route 309. Takes you up to Mountaintop. And of course it just got silent, but right below it is this abandoned vehicle. They said it's been here probably from the 60s, maybe early 70s. And it looks like it probably came off the roadside down this embankment here, and it's been here ever since. It's hard to tell what type of vehicle it is, so if you guys are able to depict it, obviously comment down below. Looks like at some point it became some target practice, but we'll get a closer look at it. So here's a look at the interior. Looks like a lot of it's been stripped out. Still see it has the buttons there, I think, for the heater control. You can actually see it looks like it had power windows, so maybe that'll help date it. The power window switch right there. It is pretty neat though. And it's amazing that, you know, all this time it's not more rusted than it is. It's, for the most part, still pretty intact. Here's a look from the rear end. It's hard to even see the tail lights or bumper, but it's been here a long time. And supposedly off in the distance there's another car somewhere too that we're going to be checking out. And I actually discovered this because my friend Rick over here is familiar with this area. He goes hunting in the nearby area, so he's going to show us around and see what else is here.
Push it down.
So Detective Mike strikes again. I found a piece, looks like a fender here.
Hood.
Maybe. Hood maybe?
Hood, yeah.
Okay. So we got a hood with some letters. We got a R and a Y and another R, so almost certain it is a Chrysler. Really, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can see the hood is kind of curved under, so probably a 1960s Chrysler. We're at our second spot here. We're a couple hundred yards away from the first vehicle, and we came upon another one. This vehicle looks more modern than the other one. This one's probably in the 80s. Can't tell what it is, but it's much more intact. The doors are open. But it's sitting down there behind that tree. That's the only thing that's really stopping it from coming down. Now up behind there is not 309, there's another residential road, and somehow it came down over that. I gotta see if there's possibly a way to cross the stream here and get up to get a closer look at it. Okay, we're at the site of the second car, and this was not easy to get to. I was originally going to cross the stream, but the water is just too high and too fast, so we had to come down Pine Run Road, walk down below these power lines, and we made it. This looks like it was 1980s, like a Buick Skylark or something, and definitely was on fire at one point. Somehow they made it down the embankment. Not sure if it's on purpose or it was an accident, but it's been sitting here a while. there's not really much left of it. Sorry about the wind, there's a breeze here right now, but the frame of the seats are still in there, but everything's gutted and burned. You still see the transmission right there. So nothing really spectacular, but within a few hundred yards of each other, there's two cars laying down an embankment, so not every day you get to see something like that. Alright, I'm going to keep moving on. We got more to see today. Alright, so we just got done checking out those cars. We crossed Route 309. Now we're making our way down a trail here that's going to lead us to the remains of an 1800s bottling company. I think it was called Crystal Spring Bottling Company. And from what I've seen, there's, as I mentioned, the remnants of the building. It's like a shell of the building. It's pretty much empty inside. And there's a reservoir slash dam nearby which they use to get their supply of spring water. So we should be getting there momentarily, but it's a pretty nice area to walk through though. I'll show you the view.
Where that comes out. That's the way that other one is. We used to go through. Imagine that.
Oh yeah, there's a tunnel.
That's not the one I showed you. That's...
Yeah, I know, but not going through that today. Okay, so we just came from that direction. We walked about 10 minutes. Off in the distance here we have the reservoir down there, which we will check out a little bit later. But right behind me is this impressive structure. And we're going to get a closer look at it, but from what I remember, it's built 1888. And it's a Crystal Spring Bottling Company. And it's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. It's very remote. And unless you're familiar with the area like Rick is, you wouldn't know it's back here. There's not really much information about it. He originally thought it was a water treatment plant, but upon further investigation it turned out to be a spring water company. So it's all stone structure, very nicely built. Of course the roof is gone, that was wood. And the inside's pretty much gutted, but it's still pretty neat to find here just in the middle of nowhere. So we'll take a walk around the outside first and then we'll check the inside out. As you can see, this building expands out to the side here. It's a good size structure, and inside here it looks like there's an old boiler. I'll give you a quick look at that. Yeah, that's pretty massive. Probably an old boiler room. This almost has like a castle resemblance to it. The way it comes off in different angles and the peaks on the roof, and completely stone structure. It's definitely built to last. Okay, you can see with Rick standing there the size perspective of how massive this building is. Right at the top here we have a plaque. You can kind of make out this Crystal Spring water something filter plant. But it is, as I said, an impressive structure. I mean, you could pretty much throw a roof back on this and reuse the building. And just off to the side here we have a big valve or pipe here. I'm going to check around the other side here really quick. Yeah, there's a little trail going down this way. Again, the reservoir is down the bottom in the distance, and that's where they have their water supply. I could see though how it was kind of confused as a sewer treatment plant because that sign does say filter plant, but from what we discovered, it was a spring water company.
Yeah, I would say something's gonna be here forever.
building probably will be. How good a shape it's in, so like the outside, the wood top was all.
You can tell how long the roof's been gone. We've got numerous trees growing up inside here. Imagine at one point there was equipment in here, machinery, most likely steam powered. And there's this long channel here built upon a little brick wall with the metal siding, and that is where I believe the water traveled through. It probably came up somewhere over here and made its way all the way down, or vice versa. It has a almost like a medieval feel to it. It's kind of strange. It looks very awesome though. I mean, see the size of the windows. I know it's not the typical kind of place that I normally check out, you know, an abandoned house or abandoned hotel or building full of contents, but as you know, I do like to show historical things in the area, especially local history. This is something that a whole lot of people don't know about either, so that's my reason for coming here and sharing it with you guys. Oh, okay, so this makes more sense now. There's a pit here, and most likely this water ran right off into there. This is probably like a little reservoir here, and there's the pipe there that probably pumped it to different areas. It's a really old fan right there. You see that? Let me zoom in on that. Look at that. That's pretty old. I'd go down there, but it'd be very hard to get out. Looks like someone used a hose here to kind of climb in and out. I'm not that trustworthy of an old rubber hose. Yeah, water would have came rushing down towards the camera direction. There's Mike right there. Here's a look from the side.
There's a stuffed animal.
Where?
The red one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's toys down there. It's officially abandoned. So unfortunately it's more of a garbage dump now, but there's that fan right there. If you guys have a date on that, let me know. I've never seen one that designed before. Not sure if that's household or commercial. Yeah, water would have poured right out of there. And there's the remnants of a roof. Yeah, I won't be climbing down there, so this is our only look at it.
Someone's it.
We saw 5 kids walking out there with rifles now. Yeah, just some black and white cabin. Put on our fish.
So there's the last remnants of the roof, still hanging on. One thing I was thinking about though, maybe you guys could correct me in the video, you might know better than I do. My initial thought was that the water came down here and spilled out there. I'm wondering if the water was up high and traveled this direction. Not really sure, so maybe you guys could let me know in the comment section if you know how this would have worked as far as if it was gravity fed or pumped up here, or which direction at least the water would have traveled. It's kind of confusing to me. Looks like it could go either way. But we're gonna leave the building now and check out some more stuff. Okay, it's much windier, colder, and snowing now. We were just up there. You can kind of see the remnants of the building. And now we're down here at the dam slash reservoir. So I'll give you a look at this. Water almost has like a bluish tint to it. And that'd be the pump house over there. And down here near the falls, we found an old item here that I've been looking for. Crystal Spring Water Company, 1888. They must have moved that here at some point. I don't think this is the natural spot for it, but it's on this little foundation here, but that ties everything together, at least for the first part of the buildings. I'll give you guys a closer look at the waterfall there, and then we're going to keep moving on. Not sure if you can hear me, but that's pretty spectacular. One of the more beautiful falls in the area. Okay, so we came past the bottling company building, following this trail here, and we're coming upon this pretty neat little tunnel. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe the top of it was at one time part of a gravity railroad. Definitely looks like a rail bed. It's interesting the things you find out here in the middle of nowhere. So right up on top we got a date, 1903. It's a nice stone-lined tunnel here. Incredible curve to it, and as you can see or hear, it's leaking lots of water with some massive icicles on the inside. What size is this thing? It's like a sword. I go all the way through, but with the amount of rain and water and icicles in there, might look like I get impaled, so that's as far as I'm going. It looks so high from the bottom, but from up here it's pretty high. I think I'm standing on what was once an inclined railroad. And in a second I'll take you up here and give you a look at it. Okay, so as you can see, hopefully the camera shows it, but we're on an inclined slope right here. And this is at one point, I'm almost certain, part of an inclined railroad. I'm not sure offhand which railroad it was for. I'm sure someone out there knows it. But it continues downward. And you can see here, there's some old telephone poles, similar that you would see along railroads. So I'm almost certain that up on top of the mountain there would have been a large hoist to pull up the rail cars. And it's most likely for a nearby colliery or coal company. But just down here too, there's another larger tunnel which the stream passes through, so I'll try and give you a shot at that. So you can see here's the larger one. It's a bit longer, a bit higher. And this one obviously still has water flowing through it. Got a big concrete wall here. It's a pretty high drop off, probably 25 feet high. But I do love the stone wall here with the moss on it. The color really pops and makes it look pretty beautiful. Unfortunately, this tunnel doesn't have a date on it, but it's very similar in design, so it's probably very close to that date of 1903. So, unless it's on the other side, I didn't get to see the other side, but possibly. But either way, it's still a beautiful area, very peaceful and tranquil, and the little miniature waterfall here really adds to the ambiance, so to speak. So, walking down a little farther down the trail, we came across this little trough in the middle of the woods here. And I got an old piece of rail right here. I guess it's either for water or maybe a cable or something to go through here. It's parallel with the slope here. And from what he explained, there's even more remnants down here of some type of bridge or something else. So we're going to check that out next. So maybe this will make more sense to you guys. There's more of these. Oh, it actually goes underneath the trail up there. There's a hole there. But they're parallel, two of them. And you can see there's some, almost looks like steps going down. A little ramp there. And there's a little hole in the middle there. Let me go check that out. So here's the hole in between them. And up ahead, looks like it goes underground, so I'll take a look at that. You can see these get pretty deep too. They're about maybe 4 feet. Oh, that looks pretty neat. Let me check the other side here. Alright, I'm going to have to get down there and get a closer look at it. Unfortunately, I don't have a light with me. But, Cliff, if you're watching this video, this has your name written all over it. Oh yeah, it goes all the way through. This had it been for water. And this looks like it's almost like cinder block lined. Pretty neat. Hopefully you can see I'm standing in this little trough right now, and it extends out that way, and right in front of me is the hole here, so. right there. So pretty interesting. Had to be some type of factory or something here using water. There's all pickers. But it extends off on both sides. A lot of cool remains, and again, it's in the middle of nowhere. That's the most intriguing part of it, is that it take a lot of time and effort to come all the way out here to build these structures and foundations and get the material out here. But again, it's a piece of history. Wish I had more information for you guys, but either way, I'm just happy to share it with you. So still got more to go up that direction, so we'll keep moving on. So there's the other side where I was just looking through. It's a large concrete wall here, and some more, looks like either foundations or footers or something. They're neat though, it's completely covered in moss. That almost looks like a crypt. On the back side of it here, we've got a very large, huge hooks here. I mean, you can see the size of my hand to it. And it continues down this way. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if there's a mine down here somewhere. There's a little valley here. I'm gonna get a closer look. This may have been a hoist house at one point. Just speculation, but the way this is angled here, I bet you they would have pulled the coal cars out and would have went up the incline railroad there. If you guys have any other thoughts, definitely let me know. I'm just kind of taking it all in and trying to piece it together. But these piles here, that's like slag. Pretty sure this is all man-made right here. And it lines up almost perfectly. So, we'll keep moving on. The video I thought was gonna be a little 10-12 minute video, and we're seeing a lot more than I was expecting, which I'm not complaining about. You can see Rick's all the way up there. But there's these huge slag piles here. All right guys, a little out of breath. I had to do a little hiking here. Down the embankment is where all those big slag rocks were. And up here now, we got remnants of some buildings. It looks like at one point it was a bridge. That's what Rick originally thought. But as you can see, it's actually remnants of a building foundation. That's just the exposed part of it. That was the roof line. My guess is this was one point part of a colliery or breaker, but I'm pretty sure it was part of a coal operation. Got this large block here. Now what's even cooler up here is what looks like a huge big slab of concrete. It actually holds a couple little secrets that I discovered, so I'll give you a close look at that. But here's some huge timbers. Could have been used for roofs or inside of mines or even railroads. They look like railroad ties actually. But you can see there's various things in here. There's a little channel right there which we'll check out. But the cool part is over here. I mean, look at this. Got this large base here, concrete base. And this little corner here, which is heavily covered in moss, which makes it look amazing. And it kind of drops down to this little pool area. And then we have a little opening right there, which allows us to go inside. So, I mean, this is just incredible. For how far away it is, we probably walked a couple miles to get to this. And it's all sitting out here. There's even a little thing that was underground right there. So, I'm like a kid in a candy store here. I'm just trying to think what to show you first, but I think we'll head in there and give you a look. So give me a second, we'll get situated. All right, are you ready? Let's go under. We made it. And this looks pretty neat. Look straight ahead, we got an arched doorway. You can see these walls are about 10 feet high. And it's snowing right now. This is really awesome. This is like a, definitely resembles like a castle or fortress. Now look at that. There's like the, I keep forgetting the name of it, but it's like stuff that leaks out from the concrete or cement. But here's another channel. Telephone pole there for electricity. Another channel over there on the other side. It's pretty cool here. This is where we just came from. You can see the opening where I crawl through this archway. It's kind of hard to tell if this is a manway or not, or if it was for water, but whatever it is, it's quite awesome. You get a look at that tree in the corner too. It's kind of growing right almost into the rock. It's amazing how it could find a root system down through there. And that's just cool though. I mean, I feel like I'm in another country here exploring old ruins. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I know not everyone is into this type of thing. I know you guys like the abandoned houses and hotels, resorts, places that are completely intact. This is more or less ruins, but it's still really awesome, mainly for the fact that they're in the middle of the woods. There's more intact here than I was imagining. I was expecting just some foundations, but there's actually walls and little corridors like I'm standing in right now. But as I always ask you guys, leave your feedback down below. I love hearing from you. I love reading your comments, and if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, leave them down below. If you don't enjoy this type of thing, then all I ask is just wait till the next video, and I'm sure I'll have something that you like, but it's a part of local history, and I'm glad to share it with everyone. If you look inside, that's actually railroad tracks. Either they're full-scale railroad tracks or minecart tracks, but they use them as some type of supports in the building of this. So here's the other side, looking at those two channels, and they end over here with a enormous drop-off, probably 50-60 feet high. So I'm going to kind of make my way down there and give you a shot from down there. Okay, we were just standing up on top of there. You can see the large drop here with some stone and concrete. Must have been something here at one point. Here's some additional walls and some large pits there. I'm kind of baffled as to what this is all used for. My just a basic hunch though is just it was somehow related to a mine company, coal mining. I don't know if this has any relation to the spring bottling company or not, Crystal Spring Bottling Company. That's a couple hundred yards away, so that may or may not tie into this. But it's definitely in the same vicinity. And it looks like the hunter's right. If you look here, it's all coal. It's little coal fragments. So, what's that there? I thought that was an opening. It's just a wall there with a old window. This is just incredible though. can also see too, this has a little bit of a depth to it. It goes down maybe 5 or 6 feet. So it looks like it kind of comes down in tiers. And I'm sure down there might be a drain or something that would have somehow came out over here. Again, just guessing it. If I'm wrong, no big deal, but I like to try and give you guys a sense as to what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking at the time. So here I go. This is, hopefully you can see me and hear me, but it's over my head. I'm just an inch shy of 6 feet tall. So this goes down at least 6 feet deep. It's all filled in with debris. There's chunks of coal, rock, leaves and sticks. So it may go down a little bit deeper, but I think somewhere down here there would have been some type of drain or a channel for the water to continue flowing. But still very awesome remains. I'm really having a great time checking these out, so hope you guys are enjoying it as well. If you are, don't forget, before this video is over, give it a big thumbs up. This is really some natural beauty though. I'm believing this is a concrete wall. I originally thought it was just a stone face here, but I believe it's man-made concrete. Obviously it had a purpose here. There's a little, looks like a collection basin here. And I'm sure water had some part to play with it. But the way it looks right now, it's just completely awesome. And you can hear in the distance, as a tractor trailer going up Route 309 towards Mountaintop. So 309 is roughly probably 400 or 500 yards in that direction. But from where we parked, we probably walked about at least 2 miles. But it's well worth the trip. So I'm going to snap some photos, I'll give you guys a little bit closer look at that. And then I think we'll be wrapping it up. So here's a nice look at what they would have been mining out of here. It's a nice chunk of anthracite coal. So we're now standing inside what was once a building. That's the most intact part of it there, the wall with the beams going across. But inside here there's various little supports, layers of brick, concrete footers, timber, and another big channel here. As you can tell on the camera, it's snowing out right now, so I'm not going to spend too much more time here. We got a long walk back. Even along the bank here is piles of old bricks and everything. So, pretty neat. Ruins and remains. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed our look at these pretty cool ruins, structures, and cars today. We started off the video checking out those 2 abandoned vehicles down the embankment. Then we went to that Crystal Spring Bottling Company, which I believe was dated 1888, and followed it down further and came to some pretty awesome remains here. My favorite part was that little area where you crawled through the opening and went down that little tunnel with the curved archway and the green moss. I mean, it was just really impressive. I know I've said that word dozens of times already, but that's all it is though. It's impressive. It's something that's been here a long time. I'm sure not many people know about it. But I do want to thank Rick because he is familiar with this area. It's his hunting grounds, and he's the one that told me about it. Again, I wish I knew more about it, but whatever I do know, I would have already shared throughout the video. Otherwise, all I ask you, if you enjoyed this video and this adventure today, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. And as I mentioned earlier, comments, questions, leave them down below. Lastly, don't forget, you can follow me on Facebook. And if you'd like to find out what I'm working on next, you can donate to my Patreon page on my $2 tier, where you'll get exclusive access to upcoming projects. Anyways, thanks for watching, and like always, I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you.